it's Happy here. So today we are going to take a video about the ABS, traction control, torque and some other features in the bikes. And why we are going to make this video, because sometimes when I'm riding around here and there and the people ask me, is your bike have the ABS, is your bike have the torque or traction control and this and that, blah blah blah. My bike is a classic scrambler. It has not many options like these ones, and I like the old school. I like that bike. I just like the freedom, so I don't mind if I don't have those things. And we are going to explain you guys what's those things, and we will ask Mitch. I'm going to Trump show. We will ask Mitch what's these all the things, and he will explain you guys properly what's those things and why we are using those things around here. And he will show you some modes in the bikes and what that mode is, like rain mode and the sports mode and the normal mode. Please hit the like button on this video, and if you like it, and subscribe my channel for more videos. And if you guys want some more information, please leave a comment and we will try our best to reply you guys. Let's go. Boom. Hello mate, how's it going?
Good, Happy, and yourself?
Good, good. What are you gonna explain to me today, mate?
Today we're just going to have a little bit of a talk about basically the new modes and switching on motorbikes, and also for people who sort of aren't really aware when they walk into a motorcycle dealership when someone says it's got this much power, it's got this much torque, or it's got ABS, or it's got all different modes in it. I'm just going to give you a simple idea today, basically, and a simple understanding of what these things are on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
What we've got here, I've just got one of the 1200 Triumph Thruxtons, as you can see.
Yeah.
Now, starting at the front of the bike, if someone sort of says to you, oh, the bike's got ABS, if you were looking at a bike and you're walking around a showroom, you'd be able to tell by looking at this little thing here. So this here has a little sender unit on it, which is there.
Yeah.
Okay, and what that does is, once the bike is doing around about 5 kilometres an hour, this will read that. And then the ABS clips in.
Yep.
So what the ABS does is, when you're in a hard braking situation, be it in the rain or be it sort of you're having to pull up in a hurry, the ABS will stop you locking up the wheels on your motorcycle.
Yeah.
So as soon as you lock the wheels up on a motorcycle, one, you've lost control. Two, the bike will start to speed up again, basically, because when the tyres are sliding along the surface, they have no grip on the road anymore. So having ABS on a motorcycle in this day and age, and it's basically a new regulation that you'll see come out on all motorbikes, is a great asset. You can grab as much front brake and as much back brake as you like, and you'll have a better control over the bike than if the bike locks the wheels up. So if some bikes, like if we move around to here, Happy, like a sports bike, a bike like that will have ABS as well, but because people may use those for track days in racing, they might want to turn the ABS off, so they have a stronger feel, and they might feel that they could probably brake a little bit later under certain conditions. But for good average riding, be it sports riding or whatever, riding on the road, ABS is a great asset to have on a motorcycle, and it's a great innovation, and it does work really well. Moving along from there, we have things called traction control. What's traction control? Traction control on a motorcycle is when, if you're in the wet weather and you sort of gave it a little bit more throttle than what you thought, or you might be a greasy surface on the road, be it a white pedestrian crossing, sometimes can be quite slippery, or a bit of diesel on the road, it'll stop the wheels spinning up. So what it'll do is it'll back the power off, it won't let the wheels spin. And also, if you, for argument's sake, gave it a heap of revs and dropped the clutch quickly, the bike will not spin. So the rear wheel will not spin. Once again, on a lot of bikes you can turn that on or you can turn it off. Okay? But in a standard default, that is always on. And then we move into little things. If you have a look on the Thruxton here, I'll just show you a couple of things on the dashboard. You might want to move around this side, Happy. And I'll move around the other side of the bike. So there's things these days that we can do on a motorcycle that we couldn't do before. So when we look on here, we see it says road. Okay, you can see road, on the screen there where my finger
Yep.
is?
Yep.
Okay. Now, and I'll show you the button in a minute. If you keep your focus on that road mode, I can change the mode through to sport.
Yeah.
And from there, if it starts to rain,
Yeah.
I can change the mode through to a rain mode as well.
Yeah.
Okay? So if it starts to rain, hang on, I'll just put a clutch in on that and let that go through to the next mode. We'll get there. It's not doing it, I'll just reset it.
Yeah.
See now how we reset it, it will go back to road mode.
Yeah.
Okay? Then we've got sport mode and we've got rain mode.
Yeah.
So if it's raining,
Yeah.
and you're a little bit worried about the road surface and stuff like that, this will basically power down the bike. So it'll take a lot of the horsepower out of the bike. It actually changes the computerized mapping in the bike. So it makes the bike more compliant in wet weather conditions.
Yeah.
And then once it starts to get sunny again, you push the button again, you go back to road mode. On this you just pull the clutch in, let it out, so you don't have to stop the bike, you can just be moving the bike along.
Yeah.
So they're different sorts of power delivery. Okay, so what happens is when we were in rain before, it's like a low power. A road mode is sort of like your everyday use, and then the sport mode is if you do a track day or you're going up through the twisties with your mates or whatever, you can put it in sport mode. Now, when we talk about horsepower in motorbikes,
Yeah.
it's not all the same. So if we had a bike like this, for argument's sake, say it put out 100 brake horsepower. There's lots of things will put out horsepower, or everything puts out. Say you got half a dozen different bikes, they all put out 100 horsepower. It depends how it puts out its horsepower, and that comes back to torque.
Yeah.
Torque is probably your biggest asset in a motorcycle.
Yeah.
If you got a full-on sports bike, it might produce 150 brake horsepower, but that 150 brake horsepower mightn't come on till you reach, say, somewhere around about 7,500 to maybe 9,500 RPM. So that 2,000 area is where it performs at its optimum.
Yeah.
A bike like that, you'll tend to slip the clutch a little bit when you get off the line. It'll be fairly underpowered underneath that rev range. Where you can get onto another bike that may produce, say, 100 horsepower, but it actually produces more torque at lower revs.
Yeah.
So on something like this, a big twin, you can pretty well let the clutch out and it'll have its maximum torque at anywhere between, say, 2,500 and, say, 4,500 RPM. And so in doing that, when you're looking for something, you want to know where it produces its torque. It's going to be harder to ride if its maximum torque comes in at high revs.
Yeah.
It's going to be an easier bike to ride if the torque comes in very low, because you don't have to use a lot of revs to get away.
Yep.
So, and those things just depending on the different bikes, like a trail bike, or if you're on an adventure bike like the ones over here,
Yeah.
you want torque down low, so you can just putter along. As soon as you touch the throttle, it'll just torque away and pull away nicely, and you're not having to use the clutch. Where when you're on a street bike or a performance bike, it will come in at a lot higher RPM, and it won't be down low.
Yep.
And also the gearing on those bikes vary a lot. So this bike might do, say, 70 or 80 kilometres an hour in low gear,
Yep.
where you get a bike like that, it'll probably only do 35, 40 kilometres an hour in low gear, or 50
Yep.
before you change up gears.
Yep.
So they're just a few little things to look out for when you're looking around at different motorcycles. Some of the little 300cc Lambs approved bikes and stuff like that, they don't have very much torque because it's a very small motor, so it operates on lots of revs.
Yeah. And some of them, they're fast as a sports bike.
Yeah, some are. I mean, they don't have the top end speed and stuff like that, but they're very
They're
revvy.
pretty quick. Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty quick.
Yeah.
And then you go to the Triumph, which is the Lamb 660, like the one with the L on it over here.
Yeah.
When they designed that motorcycle, because Lambs says that you can have so much power, as in horsepower,
Yeah.
per kilo of weight of the motorcycle.
Yeah.
So what Triumph did is they actually got a 675, turned it into a 660, and gave it pretty well as much torque as a 675,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have the horsepower.
Yeah.
But it made it a very easy bike to ride, so you could basically just let the clutch out on that bike without any extra revs, and it would just roll away smoothly.
Yeah.
And in saying that, it's a 3-cylinder bike in a lamb's bike. If you have a single-cylinder lamb's bike, it's going to be a lot rougher in its engine operation. Where if you get a multi-cylinder bike like a 3-cylinder, then it's very smooth.
Yeah.
And you get a twin-cylinder bike that's got a real nice pulse about it, has a nice rhythm about it. So it just depends on what you like personally.
Yeah.
But I think as far as, you know, and that's only the simple side of it. You can go into things like our Apritas and stuff, and they have 8 different levels of traction control, and they have wheelie control, so the bike will not flip on you if you give it too much power. It also has a launch control, and there's many different things, but without overcomplicating it, just that simple way of looking at bikes and seeing what it's got.
Yep.
Which are basically, on these bikes, without talking for sports use, they are modes that make the bike a lot safer to ride under certain conditions.
Yep.
And with the adventure bikes, they are working on areas where you might ride it on the dirt, so they can make it more conducive for dirt riding, and you can change back another mode, and that will bring it back to road modes.
Yep.
And they also have suspension modes in motorcycles these days, where you're carrying a load or you're not carrying a load, and that's where you sort of start to step into electronic suspension.
Yeah.
But
People get confused to choose the modes? Sometimes?
I think when they first came out a few years ago, it was fairly complex, a bit like anything the computerized was.
Yeah.
But these days, it's getting a lot simpler. So it's basically just a mode button or an information button. Click through, there's a screen display, comes up on the screen, you go bang, yes, that's what I want, and away you go. So it is a lot easier. It's no harder to operate than a mobile phone basically these days. It's pretty simple. You know, if you can operate your new modern oven at home, you can pretty well operate one of these things, you know.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, it's just getting used to it like anything.
Yeah.
But what you want is you want a couple of simple modes in a motorcycle and just make it a little bit safer for you to use on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
And that's, without overcomplicating it, that's pretty well what we've got here to offer you on those sorts of things. So at Maroochydore here, we've got the Triumphs, and you know, as you know, we've got scooters. They even have ABS on scooters these days.
Yeah.
There's a couple of different modes on those, economy modes, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to know any more about it, just come down and see us at Maroochydore.
Yeah.
And we're at the Triumph store here, Aprilia, Motor Guzzi, Vespa.
Yeah.
And we'd be happy to talk to you about it.
Yeah. Too easy.
Thanks, Happy.
Too easy.
Cheers,
Thanks
man.
for that, mate.
Okay, mate.
Too easy. So there you go, guys. So that was pretty good explanation for you guys. So I hope you guys understand. So hit the like button for this video, and please subscribe my channel and enjoy all the videos. Thumbs up. Boom.